another postcom. This one is for
What
my
could go
Mel
wrong?
Axe 67 I did
Here we go.
recently. May actually be the day of posting this, but I got inspired to do it after a Raishi doing one, and I did a single run, and it happened to be the winning run. Geiger start, very nice. Probably the best start for Mel Axe, given high base power. Just the extra percent is really nice. The ward clear is really nice. Fits in your rotation nicely. There are a few points during this run where I will, I usually do silly mouse movements to indicate that I'm crashing out, because no
Area
mic,
clear.
while playing, but, you'll see, I will also make note of them as well. Here, looking for Dashing Heat from Hammer, Hermes, it does have some pretty impactful stuff, Nitro Boost, Travel Deal, Quick Buck, just for getting more boons, safety, etc.
Ensnared.
And I believe this is Final Wave, yeah. Click Hammer, timer's looking good, and we get utter nothingness. I look at this hammer screen, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm clicking Psychic, I see Apollo, fine, I'll play this out, I can get Apollo attack. If I get like Apollo attack, then this is like really playable. I charged a Whirlwind there, I'm not even sure if that was actually correct. I don't really play Mel Axe. I have spent maybe a good 20 hours playing this aspect. Actually, I could mention from that, you don't necessarily need to be perfect on an aspect to clear 67. Get a purple Apollo attack, I'm like, holy shit, this is a great run suddenly. My Apollo attack is shredding through enemies. 234 a hit with no dashing heave. That'll be closer to 400, and I will keep on bringing that up throughout this entire run, because it gets very spooky later. As a little bit of a spoiler. But just clearing rooms out, making quick work of enemies. Most enemies I'm killing in like 2 hits, just because of how much damage I'm doing. Palming the attack instead of HP, because I like to just go for damage over HP, because if I'm taking HP, that's less damage I'm doing, meaning my timer's probably going to be worse in the long run of the run. I tried to Whirlwind there, again, nice dodge proc, saving me. I finished off the attack 2, I did that because or attack 1 of the chain. I don't know the axe chain, I just play the weapon. All I know is attack 3 is the slam, and that's silly and only kind of useful on Than. Than Hex will happen at some point, I will say. I've gotten close a few times. I've had so many runs that just die at Serb due to timer reasons as of late. I'm up to like 8, I think.
My time.
Get Arachne here. This is like timer's great. Okay. This is C9. I'm starting to think the timer's maybe not as great. I'm not exactly sure. I see the trial. Okay, cool. That's maybe good for timer. That's more boonage. More boons is always good. I take Demeter over Apollo. I find Apollo a little bit easier than Demeter, and Demeter had Snow Queen, and that was the other reason.
Here he comes.
Snow Queen just is so much added safety over the course of a run. It just in keeping my Gales around. There's a lot of, in this chamber specifically, like I swear some of those Willer hits should have hit me 100%. If I was playing like Supai, I know for sure if I dashed there, I would have been getting hit, and I don't know why. There's, yeah, as you can see, there's the just Apollo fields. They're a little spooky because multi-hits, but making quick work, they played pretty well all around. I try to think of what to take. I believe I go with the Palm here, because I can't get Cocoons in Final Room. Cocoons has to be a non-menu, so I think I try gambling for like Artemis to show up. She sadly does not, and it's this big tile. This big tile is the worst tile in the entirety of Erebus. It is so, so bad for timer and just trying to do anything in it, because like revenants and enemies can be spawning on opposite sides of the map, and you have to just chase them down.
They're slowing down.
But you know, trying to make quick work of them. Now timer's looking a little bit worse for wear, but it could still pick up if I get like, you know, dashing second hammer, then suddenly my timer is like fine. So just kind of hoping for fields to be like good. Palm the attack again, because that's another guaranteed palm. I take the shop here just because wanting a little bit extra timer, but I felt that the time needed to pick up that palm in the opposite wasn't worth grabbing for the added bonus. I'm already up to 160%. I feel like I'm starting to get to the point of diminishing returns. I have, at this point, 190% extra attack damage.
Totally clipped.
Sad Snow Queen lossage to the small orbs. I remember this Hecate being pretty good, so I'll kind of just let it speak for itself, making some notes of some small things. Killing the witches, trying to keep spacing well. Kagros is really good in this fight because it just lets you see. I did the entire full attack chain here because I wasn't sure. Because sometimes when you dash on Axe, you can be leaned into
Not much time left.
the side of the wall, and then you just get popped by Hecate. So I didn't really want to do that. Very good sheep dodge. I prefer usually going up to down. I've been trying to force myself to do side to side more. Like Foolish has been on me about trying to do side to side more. Because I see my timer, I'm trying to just sneak in as much damage as possible. I still have Gale as well, so I'm not super worried. I still don't really want to lose it because that'd be kind of trolling.
I think you won.
And I managed to kill Hecate before I actually
Return
take
to
the
ship
armor
now.
damage tick, so I'm actually up 5 armor even though I've timed out. I don't actually know the reasoning, or at least the timing behind the armor damage tick, or the damage ticking once you go overtime.
Heading in.
Because it's not immediate. I don't know if it's based on, it starts ticking at 0.51 after or not. But that will be important later in the run. Small spoilers again. Just trying to make a quick work of the room.
Clear.
Enemies were really well behaved. The Demcast is really good, just keeping enemies under control. Again, seeing that here. Just able to keep the Whispers right where I want them. As they can sometimes be a pain, especially with Axeline. I will mention Axeline all day, every day. This room is very spooky. Suck spindles with the fire can kind of just steal Gale charges for fun based on where they just land, so I'm trying to keep my Gales around because I know my Axe Sirens isn't the greatest. This room is just pain. Hippos are very spooky. Thankfully, once again, Snow Queen can just help preserve Gales. I feel like this run more is just a showcase of Snow Queen being one of the strongest, like, high fear boons in the entire game. That and like Blinding Rush.
What's in the well this time?
In terms of like both Blinding Rush in terms of both damage and move
In
speed.
the name of Hades.
Because opening Backburner is stupid strong. Backburner is so good. I take the Aerospeth special there, just trying to maybe open Cherished Heirloom, as that would be a great pickup, both for Antler and possibly even Silken Sash, depending on when I see it, as it makes you get more armor,
Out with you.
as 6 per instead of 4 per encounter. I click Bridle here, hoping it'll hit the attack. It hits the cast, and I'm really annoyed about that. It always hits like the worst boon, I feel, but you know, it happens.
Hello, sunshine.
Click the mystery boon there, it's just more boons is more boons. I have plenty of money. Take Backburner here, just because, again, Backburner is stupid strong. I'm now hitting for 300 something per hit. I don't know if shows the exact number. I know it does later in the run. I think it's like, yeah, 361. So on crits, that means I'm doing over 1,000 per hits, which is quite nice damage. I picked the Ixion here. Ixions into fields can guarantee you a 2-2. Pick up the Demeter here, and I see Cherished Heirloom, and I am very happy. So if this means if my first door is a 3-door, I go into through the Chaos Gate, and I can purge it, and then I'm up an additional $450. If not, whatever. Oh, unfortunate hit there from Charybdis. Just kind of walked into that tentacle shot. Kind of just waiting out. A lot of Mel Axe gameplay is kind of waiting for getting into attacks, given how slow it is. But you just have a really high damage, so it really helps in that regard. I baited Skilla over to the jetty, so she just kind of gets stuck. Although that's a little bit of a gamble, sometimes she just decides to not be stuck. In that situation, I probably should have gone up to that little corner right below where the steams are, or the steam, like, canisters are that you can explode, as there's a tiny save spot there. Another really common save spot I use is up in that top corner, is the Roxy feature just won't reach you, ever. As long as you're, like, forcing yourself in the corner, sometimes the water jets try to force you down, but it is a very safe corner to be in. Baiting Skilla, her AI kind of just bugs out, so you can kind of just loop her back and forth like that, and she just kind of doesn't know what to do. Very unfortunate take a hit there, but it was probably worth just trying to get the extra damage in. Maybe I should have tried to preserve it better, but spacing was a little off there because I was trying to greed damage, as I noticed my timer and it's not doing so hot suddenly. Dash and heave diff, dash and heave would have already melted, as I would be doing 600 on backstabs, 500 on non-backstabs. And now time to just run around and take out all the tentacles. This is probably my favorite part of the fight in general, just because it's a very methodical part of just going around, killing the tentacles. I used to have the exact HP memorized for them. All I really know now is that if you have a Apollo Attack, Wicked, and Morgan, you can one-shot them with a Triad Loop, so do with that as you will. I believe it's around 1,200 though, I believe, or 1,200.
Peace and quiet.
Siren's done. That was a really clean final phase there. It's really well-behaved ads. Once again, the Demcast coming in clutch. I pick up the yarn there. I wasn't exactly sure what else to do with my money, because I got Timepiece again, a chargeback, rather, and there's not much else I really need. So just kind of, I could get another rarity boon. I'm currently at a 3-god pool, so maybe like a Hephaestus 4th for like a big heavy metal to like really ensure the run is like an idea. There's a few other like ideas that I'm not thinking of probably, but that was the idea that I was thinking of at the moment. Was just, I'm currently a 3-god pool, 4th god can be really good safety boon. And it's just taking out the enemies. Again, that freeze cast is putting in work. Munchers have really low weights, so kind of annoying to see them as they're kind of just a time waster. Especially with this build, thugs are not that bad. Sometimes they're a little spooky because they just have a slowish swing and they can do a fast swing immediately
get out
after,
now.
and it can kind of catch you. So I see a 3-door there. I'm like, okay, I had a chaos gate, so that means I'm guaranteed a 2-2 at this point. As to see a 2-2 field, you need to have seen a 2 3-door sets. So no matter what this second set of doors is, as long as there's Arachne, I'm guaranteeing myself a 2-2, pretty much. And I'm not getting like a scuffed layout that will utterly botch my timer.
All banished for now.
Little unfortunate Gale loss, but get it done. See a 2-door, it does not matter. I still have a guaranteed 2-2 fields.
Please
Click
take
Evade
care.
here, best safety boon ever. And with Snow Queen, you can't be sucked. I take the Demeter here because Poseidon would be my 4th
Show
god,
me the
and
way.
again, I kind of want to hold out for maybe a better 4th god. This encounter was really spooky. Yeah, size unstunnable Whaler. I get my Snow Queen instantly lost. Fun fact about Snow Queen, again, there's a bunch of dodge procs, instantly roof, that's 3 there. I think there's a 4th lost here. Yeah, 4th and 5th, actually.
In the name of Hades.
Take up
One
Demeter.
remains.
I love how the attacker plays. Hadn't even considered, actually, that I was low on Dem Boons, until I checked right there. I was like, oh wait, that was my 4th Dem Boon screen. So, if I didn't have a freeze effect, I would have been forced into a Dem attacker place there, actually. So if I, say, had Dem Sprint, that would have been a force replace on my attack boon, which would have been awful. That would have been a very high and noticeable damage loss. Click the palm here. I try and decide between backburner. I take an attack. I click backburner just because it's more percent. I take hammer here because I just want to try and get my dashing heave, and I
Heal
met
that
with
for effect.
nothing. Melting is okay, but Giga
Alright,
Cleaver
boys,
Sudden
we'll do
are
this
not
just
doing
like before.
anything on this weapon, so it's just kind of nothingness. And now it's time to just do Surf Fight with no dashing heave. So I'd be doing 750-ish damage, 746 damage per backstab swing, or dash strike rather, if I had dashing heave. Instead, I'm just kind of poking serve for not negligible numbers. Backburner is the MVP here, of course, just putting in numbers.
No, not the breath.
Serb Axe feels okay. This build also kind of just shreds. Dashing Heave, of course, would have just destroyed Serb. He would not have had a chance to live. Really good adds here. I am usually not a fan of Inferno Bomber, but Freeze Cast plus Melting Shredder does just put them through it. Keeping Snow Queen into the second phase of Serb is really nice. I believe I lose it soon here, sadly. Serb lunge can be really painful though. There are some times, it's actually going to be in the next hotfix, going to be patched supposedly, where he can just drift into you. Long spit here is wonderful, it just lets me wail on Serb more. And then short spit, and I believe I lose my Snow Queen here. No. Okay. Yeah, there is the Snow Queen loss. I should have dashed into that Paw Slam. That is the safer move. Again with air, you should dash into Paw Slam, not away from, given how the hitbox operates. OMG, 67 armor. I don't know. This surf fight was decently clean, so I don't know what else more there else to say. It's just kind of Fear Mel Axe, yippee. Oh yeah, there. I think a really unfortunate Serp Spit hit there, and I'm just kind of annoyed by that. A little bit more armor loss there as well. just because standing in the fire a little bit, trying to squeak out a little bit more damage, because I see my timer and I'm like, I need to finish this fight soon, but I also need to not take any damage, because if I lose my armor, the run is probably over.
Hurry, Mel.
Just because my damage is so low, I'm trying to think of, I need to tank damage with my armor, just so I have a chance at winning. I get a dodge proc there, very lucky dodge proc. And just kind of good serb attack so I can kind of continue to wail on him.
Placated.
Go find your master now.
And into Tartarus with an extra 12.97 seconds on clock.
So much dust.
Hey, sister.
Nothing in well. I was hoping to see maybe a splintered shield, and I look at my hammers, and at this point I just post the speed coordinate at Raiji. Oh wait, no. I think about it. I'm just like, no, I'm just gonna wait till I either make it to Chronos, but I'm like considering it. Just like, this build is nothing. I have backburner, and that's the only thing that's putting in work in this build.
Unseen.
Like, I have a useless first hammer, and my second hammer
Almost
is
there.
like kind of useful for rooms, and that's about it.
Coinage. Should be a clear path to the house.
And time for Tartarus.
Everything proceeds as planned.
And I'm really thinking at this point, I need my rooms to be like good, or this run is just cooked. My timer is nothing.
Straightforward.
Click Hades here, trying to get Deep Descent, and I don't see it. I click Old Grudge because it's a little bit more of a time save, I think, compared to anything else on the screen. I see Nem here, and suddenly I feel like my timer is a little bit better off as long as my final rooms
Still
are
impatient.
passable.
Caught.
Nem and Tark can be a massive time save, just because of I don't have to play out a Tartarus room, yippee. And Tartarus rooms can take upwards of a minute, so big time save here. At this point I was telling myself I need to get that 8 seconds target I got it in my Melstaff speedrun, as that room would have revived my timer so hard, but also that room is probably like a 1 in 1,000 or something. Like, that room is generationally good. I don't think I will ever see that room again in a while. I try to space around Nem, as she stole my Snow Queen earlier in that encounter, and she can steal your evade charges, and I really do not want that going into Chronos. This room is awful. Sand Skulls have a kind of low weight. They're armored at least. Lose my Snow Queen there to the fire, as I mentioned, like the Oceanus with the other enemies there.
Vengeance.
Just try and space around, try and kill the enemies, try and do it kind of quickly. I desperately don't want to lose my Gales, because Gales, above all else, are going to save me, most likely. Because as long as I have a Gale, I can keep my armor better. So it's better to just try and keep them. Lose a Gale there, and very unfortunate one to lose, but get through it. And then the cold storage keeping that Sand Skull in place so I can just hunt it down. This room is also not great. Teleporting unstunnable Tempai are a sight to behold, just because so much stuff is on screen suddenly. Luckily, Melting Shredder is proving useful once again, and just making work of them. Allowing me to just one-cycle them pretty much by just special into dash strike. Yeah.
One last chance.
Decent enough room, and I have one left. I'm feeling this room needs to be like good. I see this, and I'm like, fuck off. I'm so cooked. I have no dashing heave. This room is awful. I see unarmored enemies. And it's just continuing to get worse, as you're about to see. Just more Virophants spawning in trickle spawn. And then the unarmored sand skulls arrive. Just continuing to ruin my timer. I take a little bit of Snow Queen damage. Just lose my Snow Queen charge. To random laser. Very cool and awesome. And just try and take down the enemy. And now I think the run is just absolutely cooked. I'm entering with just about 2.5 minutes for Chronos. I click the Hestia here. Maybe there's like a damage up. I click Snuffed as Flash Fry isn't really doing anything. Snuffed, I was kind of hoping for some more base power, even though Mel Axe plus 50 is like nothing. And at this point, I at Raiji and the Speed Core and I'm like, hey, how do you get Dashing Heave? Because all of these were unique cameras, and I never once saw it. I had 2 chances, and I got nothing, pretty much. And time for Chronos. Well, I'm doing this post-com, so you know it wins, but just wait and see. It is rather close.
Long have I looked.
I play my Chronoses often by just trying to get as much damage in the start. I trigger Combo Breaker there, and then Old Grudge finishes off the phase. And I just want to try and get as much damage in. I have Snow Queen, so I back up there because just there's a higher likelihood of me losing resources to staying close to Chronos there than backing off. It's just kind of a balance I need to find of resource keeping and trying to damage. I see this damage and I'm thinking, okay, this is more alright. The 1k is kind of putting in work. I just try and kill the ad, and Melting lets me just kill before Chronos is even active. And now I'm just trying to kill Chronos before he can move away. Sadly, he's able to move away, so it's a few another seconds lost. Like 4 or 5 probably. Actually, probably closer to 2 or 3. However, the warding circle also added some, so probably closer to 5 actually. I triggered a trigger Combo Breaker there. I do not. I get unlucky with crits, so... If you did not know, Chronos rather, Combo Breaker requires, there it is, you have to do 2,000 damage within 2 seconds. So if you can reach that, that's Combo Breaker. I triggered there because of both the 1k crit and the 8,000 immediately after, as well as the specials in between. I know I need to remove the ads as they're just going to be wasting too much time. They should just need to not be left alive. As the healing of Chronos will just waste away my timer. Lose my Snow Queen there, just trying to do damage in. I feel like that was an acceptable loss of Snow Queen, just because it let me get a little bit more greedy with my damage. And now I'm entering P3 with 52 seconds on clock. Very spooky. I'm not even going to try damaging Chronos during this. I don't even think Mel Axe could safely, and I'd rather keep Gales in case Chronos pulls some absolute bullshittery. That sucks as I can't really damage, as the Axe lane I felt would have led me to just getting time stopped, and I don't really want that. I stay close to Chronos here though, just trying to see if I can read a little bit more damage in. Time slow here. I find time slow more and more acceptable. I dash this way, time stop, but because of how time slow works, I keep my momentum for my dash. Get a nice dodge proc there. I believe the ringer hits. It was that or the expanding ring. Kill the ads there. I tried to grade a little bit of damage. I got the bonus bug. Basically, if Chronos tries to spawn, and successfully does, Chronos before you phase Chronos, he just gets deleted from P2, or P3.2, and you just don't have to deal with him. And lose a Galley there to that. Sword Scythe Throw, I get a miss, and it's done. I didn't try to space out anything. I didn't realize there was a triple scythe there, just because no matter what, if I didn't kill him right there, I was dead. Like, that was the only out there.
For my brother.
But it won, and that is the run.